stand tall. Words are blades that never fall. Debate like warriors brave. Every thought we give and save. Through the noise we cut clean. Spirited minds sharp and keen. With a spark that lights the night. Join us in this epic fight. Welcome to the Spartan arena, where minds clash and thoughts gleam. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard. Buckle up and take your stance. In this arena there's no chance to escape the vibrant lore. Dive in deep and search for more. From heartfelt talks to fierce debates, we explore what fate creates. Side by side we seek the light. In the dark our minds ignite. Welcome to the Spartan arena, where minds clash and thoughts gleam. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard. Heard. Will be heard. Will be heard.
Welcome to the spot. It's time to ignite. Oh yeah. Operation Hangout. The feeling's just right. Chilling with the crew. We're ready to groove. Opinions flying high. Come on, let's move. Woo. Hang out all night long, all night. Laughing and debating, playing our song. Oh yeah. Share your thoughts, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Operation Hangout, let's reach for the sky. Let's fly. Pull up a chair, let's get in the zone. Voices blend and smooth, like a funky trombone. Oh yeah. Topics from the heart, making us think. With a twist and a shout, raise up your drink. Cheers! Hang out all night long, all night. Laughing and debating, playing our song. Oh yeah. Share your thoughts, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Operation Hangout, let's reach for the sky. Let's fly. Bring it down, shake it up, feel the beat. With every word we share, the circle's complete. Living loud, think it proud, that's what we do. Oh yeah. Join the club, come on through, we're waiting for you. Alright. Hang out all night long, all night. Laughing and debating, playing our song. Oh yeah. Share your thoughts, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Operation Hangout, let's reach for the sky. Let's fly. Hang out.
What is going on, everybody? We're back at another stream, another live. You know where you're at. You're at Spartan HQ Network. I'm your host, the Spartan, aka Peter. Excuse me. So tonight, we're talking about, should wrestling have a off season? Would it save pro wrestling? I would say yes, but I also say it will save a lot of wrestlers' lives because we lost a lot of them because they beat their bodies to hell and back. Wrestling 365 days a year is way too much for anybody's abuse. And Eric's already saying it would have saved a lot of talent who would still be alive today. And I agree 100%. But before I get into it, let's get this guy in here. He loves his baby oil. He doesn't even know what planet Vegeta is. So let's get him in here.
What's going on, Eric? I mean, how you doing, Peter? What's good?
Hey, what's going on, Anton?
Nothing much. Nothing
So-
much.
The topic is, like you heard before, should wrestling have an off season? What's your opinion?
I think this is something that's been talked about for a very long time in the industry because of not only what they put their bodies through, but at the same time, a lot of the issues that they deal with in their personal life. And I kind of, it looks like I have a visitor back here with me. Pay her no mind. That's Sinclair. Yeah, hi, Sinclair. I'm a little busy right now. Say hi. Yeah, she's waving hi. All right. Can you give Daddy a minute? Because Daddy's working right now, okay?
Okay.
All right. You got to go. All right. Thank you.
So, Anton, I'm gonna say yes. I think they do need an off season just to recover.
Oh, I totally agree. I definitely see your point in that. And like I was saying before my daughter came in, it would definitely help them with their personal lives. Like we've heard the stories on the difficulties and challenges some of these wrestlers have when it comes to the toll it takes on their marriages and their relationships with their children because they're gone close to 300 days out the year. They're really there to watch them grow up, see them compete in sports or to take part in, recitals and things like that. It's a bit of a challenge for a lot of them. And I hate to say, and then one wrestler we both know, and I know he's basically now seen as persona non grata within the industry, Chris Benoit. Maybe if he was allowed some downtime, we wouldn't be talking about him and his family in the past tense. And it's really sad to say that, but I think if Benoit would have had some downtime, I think it would have helped him not only in his recovery, but it would have helped him address maybe any other issues that were going on that most of us didn't know about.
And not only that, I think that at the time that Benoit was going through his mental issues, if they gave him some time off to grieve, because he took harder than anybody, because Eddie Guerrero was one of his closest and best friends, more like a brother, I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
I cannot imagine anybody's mindset. Like I know I have lost friends myself, and you probably lost friends too. When you lose somebody you're so close to, it's a hard rebound.
Yeah, it really
Not
is.
only, not only a death, even when you go through a breakup,
Yeah,
that is like even you have issues with your lady, your wife, whatever you have at home. Like it's just one of those things. Like you need time to recover. That is the grieving process when you go through a breakup or anything like that. So I do believe they do need a time off. Now, how long should they be off for? I can't answer that question. That
That's
is the hardest part.
that
Because
is challenge.
the summer is their peak season because I have from WrestleMania all the way to now is their biggest events. So I don't think summer should be the off season. I would say maybe October, November, December, the Christmas, holiday seasons.
No, that's definitely understandable because around this time, the only sports that are really going on right now is you have baseball, which is winding down. Major League Soccer is now back after the World Cup. You have the NBA now. You have the WNBA now. They're going to the playoffs, and basically within the next week or two, you have both the NFL and college football that's going to start up soon. And eventually, in another month or so, you're going to have both the NBA and the NHL, and eventually college basketball. So some people think that would be a good time for them to have a quote unquote off time. But also the thing is, a lot of their pay-per-views are now PLEs. The best ones and the biggest ones we are into are the ones that do take place in the summertime. Maybe SummerSlam for one. There were times, I'm trying to remember, after WrestleMania, there were a couple other pay-per-views that went on at that time up to SummerSlam that we will always look forward to watching as well. So that's going to be a bit of a challenge. Are you going to be getting rid of these programs in the process as well as giving them time off? Now, for a lot of the wrestlers, and not just for them, not just for the superstars, but even the people behind the scenes, the referees, the technical crew, the the medical staff, the writers, everyone would have at least a couple of weeks off to at least hit that reset button, to recoup, to relax, and then get back on the road. But that's a bit of a challenge, and you hear a lot of these wrestlers, you earn your keep going through the long treks, the 200, 300 plus days on the road. You earn your keep that way. And it's almost like once you have that momentum going, you find a way to keep it going for as long as you can, because you're afraid if it stops, you may not be able to pick it back up again.
So the next big pay-per-view, in my opinion, or the next two are scheduled, but my personal opinion is Money in the Bank in September 6th. That's coming around the corner, obviously.
Right.
And you have Survivor Series War Games in November 28th. So here's the difficult part. I think they should got rid of Money in the Bank, because I think its point is ridiculous as with that. I think they should use it as more a match than a pay-per-view, to be honest with you. Yeah. So that's what the original concept of the Money in the Bank. It wasn't supposed to be a pay-per-view. It was supposed to be a match, if you remember.
Yeah, I do. A lot of people forget that a good number of the pay-per-views all spawned from WWF's In Your House series. People remember,
like Hell in a Cell.
Hell in a Cell,
and what was it? The other one with the Elimination Chamber. That was a one hit wonder kind of
right,
thing, and it became.
Yeah, I think what else was supposed to be came from In Your House? I think Elimination Chamber, Hell in a Cell,
War Games,
but that came from WCW. That was Fall Brawl. I think, if I remember, also. I'm trying to remember what other shows. I think I'm trying to remember. Eric, if you're there, help me, because I'm trying to remember, because I know some of them did spawn. I think Backlash, and
no, Backlash wasn't. It was always a pay-per-view. It was always right before WrestleMania.
Okay,
started the hype of the WrestleMania. Eric's and driving. It's holder bodies. Yeah, through their bodies, announcement tables weekly, week in and week out. Seriously, it needs to stop. And Eric does have a point there. Like they're literally going through these tables, and as much these tables are meant to put you through, it still hurts.
Yeah,
no matter what. The high flyer is enough. And he replies with enough. So
enough.
Yeah. So some of the pay-per-views, like, I think we can get rid of a couple of these, and they've been talking about getting rid of a couple of these for a while now. So I know Elimination Chamber was supposed to get the axe on that and get thrown out.
That's one of those you break it out. Elimination Chamber and Hell in a Cell. That's something you bring out once every now and then.
Yeah, people don't realize Hell in a Cell and Elimination Chamber. Definitely Hell in a Cell. I think Triple H said it. I can't remember who said it. It takes 10 years of your career. It beats you up so bad. Think about it. Look what happened with Undertaker and McFoley.
Only back in '87.
and I
Oh God.
and I told you on the show and in private, Frank Romascavs, my mom's doctor, he was known as Frank the Clown at one point, and he
Right.
was a doctor on staff at that point when Foley went through the cage, and he was the first one in the ring. If you see someone slide in first, that is the guy who was my mom's doctor, and he still works with a lot of wrestlers. A lot of them come flying in or wherever they come to see Frank Romascavs because he's that good. Anyway, if you get that takes 10 years of your career. I'm assuming, Elimination Chamber, it probably is about similar, 10
Yeah.
maybe more, because Hell also has a little give to the cage.
No.
Elimination Chamber has no give.
No, it doesn't. None at all. And I've heard the stories. Like I remember one year when they had the Elimination Chamber, I think Randy Orton, Batista, Triple H. I'm trying to remember who else. I think John Cena took part in the Elimination Chamber as well. A lot of these guys were not the same. I think Edge as well. A good number of them were. When they went through it, they were battered. It's almost like as if going through that contributed to a good number of their injuries that they've never fully recovered from.
So, like a couple of these, I think. Okay, so the next couple in order is right now. Sunday Night Event is coming up September 6th.
Yeah, that's
Money
it.
in the Bank, yeah, October 10th, and Survivor Series November 28th. Then we're going into the new year after that because they have a little break from the pay-per-views.
Right.
According to this might be false. Again, I'm just going off Google right now.
Right.
Then we're going right into a Royal Jewel, and that's one I think it needs to take the axe on that too, because I'm not a fan of that one personally. Then we're going into WrestleMania season after that.
Right.
So I can say 3 of these, I'd be okay if we get rid of them, to be honest with you, to give these guys a break. They do need the break. It's way too much abuse to their bodies. And I do see they rotate wrestlers a little bit. This person's going to do this and this person going to do that. And I get that. They try to give them breaks. Triple H, when he took over, he makes sure these guys are getting their time off. They're taking their breaks because he went through it.
Yeah, that's totally understands it. And that's good, because to have someone like Triple H working, and let's be honest, we all have our issues with him with TKL. And you're right, Eric. Shout out to Dusty Rhodes. Rest in peace to Dusty Rhodes. He's the person that came up with the idea for War Games. That was one of the events that helped put the AWA and WCW on the map.
That was his creation, 100%. I can't take that way back. 2
rings in a cage, that was like, what sense does that make? But then when you see it, you're like, how's it
evolutionary? It's very evolutionized, and he was thinking outside the box. These guys who come up with this wrestling stuff like Money in the Bank, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble. They're twisting ahead if you think of this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Royal Rumble to me is always a very exciting time because a lot of wrestlers come back on a one-time hit.
Right.
And that's what we need sometimes.
I'm looking at the list of the history of pay-per-views, and of course we have the big 4: Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. Those are the 4 that we all remember growing up. Like me, Eric will tell you as well. Those are the ones we grew up on. And also,
2 of them, I will give you that. 2 of them in the summer, we need Survivor Series and SummerSlam. Not denying that. I will give you those.
Survivor Series actually was the indicator. That's how you knew Thanksgiving was coming, because they used to have it, surprisingly at times, that Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So
the funny part is the Survivor Series is 1 day before my birthday.
So that was like the one thing. If you knew it was going to be Thanksgiving, Survivor Series. The beginning of the year, Royal Rumble. Right around springtime, WrestleMania.
This year's schedule, next year's
and when
schedule.
School got out, SummerSlam.
So here's where I start having issues now a little bit. And I don't know how you feel about this. So WrestleMania is not going to be in the States this year. It's
really?
It's going to be at Saudi Arabia this year.
I heard about it was going to be in Riyadh that year.
According to this list right now, again, guys, take it a grain of salt. And I mean it, take it a real grain of salt, because I'm going off Google. And so I'm going. So this could be bullshit or accurate. I'm not going to tell you it is. Don't go as gospel. Take it a grain of salt.
Right.
Let's say it is at Saudi Arabia. I think that's going to be the worst fucking mistake they ever do. Because last year they struggled selling tickets.
Yeah.
Maven, shout out to him. He has a channel. Check him out, Maven.
Right.
He went at WrestleMania. He was interviewing people who were going and questioning him like, how much you pay for your ticket? How much? And a lot of people paid the ticket the last minute, the day of, and they saved a couple grand. Someone who bought ahead of time spent a lot of money.
Yeah,
They had to sell the liver, and if I was one of those person who paid $4,000 for one ticket, another $4,000 for my girl, or whatever the case is,
Yeah.
and I find out, oh, the guy next to me only paid $500 for the package, I'll be fucking pissed.
Yes, I would be as well. I would be as well. I mean, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, honestly, the one
Lay down.
event that did take place that to me became I'm glad it eventually did become a pay-per-view, but they don't use it anymore. But now they brought it back, King of the Ring.
King of the Ring should be definitely a pay-per-view. I felt like it always was a pay-per-view. I didn't know back in the day it wasn't. But now it's King and Queen of the Ring. But whatever.
Still, that was always that what makes that pay-per-view special. That was the stepping stone for a lot of wrestlers. When they won King of the Ring. Say again?
Stone Cold Steve Austin was a good
Exactly.
example.
When he won, because I didn't see King of the Ring in '96. I think I was in basic training at that time, that summer.
I was in Greece at the time.
Say again?
I was in Greece at the time.
So I didn't see it. And I remember watching the highlights when he won. He was like one of the first, I think he was the first winner of the King of the Ring that did not want the King moniker in his name. But that led to the birth of Austin 316.
Yeah, because he said his wife at the time gave him the idea, and he was going back and forth with it, and he just spit it up. Stone Cold Steve Austin 316 or whatever he said, and it worked. And I got to give him credit. If it worked, it worked.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the things that definitely helped his career because this was something he came up with. He didn't have somebody help put this together. He came up with this with the help of his wife at the time. I think that was it Sable at that time? I could be wrong.
What, his wife?
At that time, yeah.
No, he was never married to Sable.
Okay. I'm thinking somebody else then. My fault. My bad.
I'll tell you right now who he was married to.
Yeah, thank you. Because that was a brain fart right there. My fault on my part.
I'm looking up right now. Keep going.
Okay, but that was the beginning of how some wrestlers took charge of their character and gave it the personality. Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, eventually Randy Orton, John Cena, Batista.
So in 92 to 99, he was married to Lady Bloom.
Okay. Thank you.
Then after that, I'm sorry, before that was Kaylee Brush. He was married to.
Okay.
Then, damn, this guy fucking move a woman faster than I can change my fucking underwear.
Yeah, he's on number 4 right now. I heard.
From 2000 from 2003, Davey Marshall. He was married to.
Deborah Marshall.
From 09 to currently is Christy Austin. She's the only woman that took his last name.
Oh, she took. Okay.
So, what's her name? Sable. He was never married to Sable.
Okay, thank you. I was thinking of somebody else. My apologies on that part.
I know Brock Lesnar is definitely married to Sable.
Okay, I don't want him coming after me. My bad. I apologize. I'm putting it out there. I apologize. Wrong information. But back to what I was saying. That was his launching pad. King of the Ring was the launching pad for him. And a lot of other wrestlers that have won King of the Ring, that was also their launching pad as well. Or it took their current career to an even higher level. One person that really ran with it, I can think of 2 wrestlers that ran with that moniker. No, 3. Owen Hart, the King of Hearts. He loved being called that. Booker T, we all know Booker T, a.k.a. King Booker.
Yeah.
And Macho Man Randy Savage, a.k.a. the Macho King.
And he had King Corbin and later on recently too.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about Baron
Yeah.
Corbin. That's right. Thank
But
you.
really fast, I want to clear this up before he comes kick your ass. All right. Sable was originally married to from 87 to 91 Wayne Richon.
Okay.
Then he was married to a wrestler turned to motivational speaker, Mac Maron.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Mark
you
Miro.
forget about him because he people think he's a motivational speaker, and he transformed his look so much he's unrecognizable from wrestling time.
Oh, Mark
And-
Miro.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And obviously, right now, since 06, Brock Lesnar is married to him.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. Thank you for clearing that out. I made that mistake. But like I was saying about King of the Ring, that was like just like the Intercontinental title was that stepping stone to see if you could be a main eventer. King of the Ring was that pay-per-view that was a stepping stone for a lot of wrestlers that went from mid-card to main event as well. And it also gave them the
Those
opportunity.
pay-per-views, I don't mind. I mind those filler ones that we're dealing with now.
Oh, okay.
Like, I think the low tier guys should wrestle those, but the high, like the high tier guys,
Yeah,
should definitely do the big ones, and like maybe have rotated them. Maybe when they're going in their off season, like we're said, like say,
right.
like I said, I think it should be. And this is my personal opinion. You can say whatever you want. He should be, in October, November, December. So the 3 months off for them.
Right.
So you have those 3 months. Then maybe the high tier guys take that time off. Then you
Right.
have them wrestling, whatever. But in the meantime, have those what's called it? Those
The lower tier guys got some NXT in front of me.
Yeah. So those are a couple. Again, that is my personal opinion. Eric saying, McMurray with the awful little rich hand gimmick. John B. Baby.
Johnny B. Bad. That
Yeah.
was his. That's what he calls himself in WCW. Carter, I'm busy right now. Carter, say hi, and I gotta go. All right, I have to go. Come on, go to mommy because I'm Carter. Carter, you gotta go. Come on, come on.
Got a special guest.
Yeah, kids.
Yeah.
Gotta love them. Can't wait till school starts.
So
He's come from the other side.
he didn't have. Mark didn't have a great gimmick back then. I'm not going to argue that.
Johnny B. Bad was.
But his motivation speaking is a lot better.
Yeah,
That's where he made his career.
yeah.
And honestly, like I gotta give the guy respect because
Yeah.
I gotta give him his flowers when it's due. Because he even said multiple times when Sable cheated on him.
Ooh.
I think she cheated on him with Brock. I might be wrong on that. I'm Ken. But if say it was Brock, whoever she cheated on him, years later, he still forgave her.
Wow.
I might be a decent man. My girl says I'm a great man, whatever. But I'm not that good. Because I will never forgive her. As a Christian, I know we're supposed to say forgive all evil, blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, I agree with that.
There's some things you can't. There's some things you can't.
Exactly.
There's some things you can't.
That would hurt so much. I would have never be able to.
Nah.
I prefer you breaking up with me and hurting me that way than cheating on me. That's my personal opinion.
Okay.
This is not a love show. Let's get back on the topic.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying with a lot of these fillers. Because it just seemed like what it was. It's almost like they were just looking for something to keep them busy. The one pay-per-view I liked that worked, and I think it was just because timing, was the Invasion storyline. That just worked out perfect. New Year's Revolution and all that when they acquired both WCW and ECW, and then trying to figure out how they would merge them into WWE.
Another one they were using for a while was Cyber Saturday.
Oh yes, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah, the fans they say the fans. I don't know how true that is going to be.
right.
We pick their opponents, and they don't know it to the day of.
Oh, okay. I do remember. Yes,
Yeah.
I do
Hey,
remember.
Braxton. Yeah,
What's going
so
on, Braxton?
I think it was like one of those. I personally believe we had a call, and like they saw the numbers probably ahead of time. They probably had some kind of like little it pushed a little gravity to them, but nothing like major. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's just one of those things. I did. I know. I disagree with that, but they did have other pay-per-views, like you said, that we don't see anymore.
Right.
Why did they get the axe and not other ones? And even TKO said it and announced it, and like we all know by now, Triple H doesn't really run show. It's TKO who runs everything. He just the mouth.
And I'm looking at this list of a lot of the old pay-per-views from the 80s and 90s, like, of course, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. And then I'm looking at some of the old ones they had back in like 89. They had one called No Holds Barred, The Match, the movie. And I think that had to do with Hogan doing the movie,
Absolutely.
No Holds Barred. They had another one, December 91, This Tuesday in Texas. I don't know what was the purpose of that one. And of course, King of the Ring started actually in 93, June 13, 1992. That was the first King of the Ring. And I'm scrolling as well. I'm looking for them. And May 14th, 1995 was In Your House. That's what was one of the first, I think that helped lay the foundation to some of the other ones coming through, like Backlash and them. Because they did two In Your House. They did one May 14th and did another one July 23rd. And wait, they did a few more. September 24th and October 22nd and December 17th. This was in 95. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, they did it again in 96. This one was called, and I think this is when they start going with the themes for the In Your House. And this was April 28th, 96. In Your House, Good Friends, Better Enemies. And then, of course, Beware of Dog. That was May 26th. I was already in basic training at that time. International Incident. That was July 21st in Vancouver. Mind Game, September 22nd in Philly. Buried Alive, October 20th. And It's Time, December 15th. And I think from there after that, that's when the In Your House really started to have themes and everything else. And then all of a sudden, you're starting to see all these other shows start popping up right around the time in the mid to late 90s. And I think that's when Bad Blood started as well. I noticed No Way Out also started in 98. The first one was in February 15th of 98. That was No Way Out. April 26th was the first Unforgiven. May 31st was Over the Edge. July 26th, Fully Loaded. And October 18th was Judgment Day. And I think that's when you really start seeing all these In Your Houses start to become pay-per-views of their own, right around that time.
You see my point?
Yeah. It just really started, and I'm looking at it right now. You got Backlash, No Mercy, Over the Edge. Oh my God, Fully Loaded, Unforgiven. Here's a pay-per-view I forgot all about. Rebellion. I don't even remember that one.
I don't remember that. So my point is starting like, okay.
And Armageddon too.
When pay-per-views first started I think it was WrestleMania that really started everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then we went to 2 a year, 3 a year, or 4 a year. And I remember in Attitude Era, it was like what,
almost every month.
No, actually, it wasn't every month.
Was it?
No, it was every 2-3 months. Because they build up a storyline. It took time to build up a storyline.
Okay. Because the original 4, the big 4 we know about, that all started from 85 when the first WrestleMania started, all the way up to 1990, not 92. Yeah. And 93 is when they started King of the Ring.
Again, back in Attitude Era, we had a lot of them, but not as much as you think you did. I think it was every 2 months, to be honest with you. Maybe 3, but it was like they give you time. It was very rare when you have one back to back.
That is true. I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at the schedules
Am I
for
right or wrong?
yeah, just about. And it was always at near the end of the month. It was always the last Sunday of the month. I noticed
Yeah,
too.
and the big one, the only one I remember was close to back to back was Backlash. Then it was WrestleMania
Okay,
because that would open the gateway for the WrestleMania final storylines.
right,
So, and I think that's what benefit them so much because they had time to build the storyline, to build
right,
this and do this.
right. That's right. And then of course the first one, and I think the first one with when the WWE acquired the other two, WCW, ECW, that was Invasion. That was the pay-per-view, and ironically, that took place on my birthday, July 22nd, 2001 in Cleveland. And that's when you start seeing the merger and they're crossing over of the rosters. Like you saw WCW, ECW talent now appearing on the WWE. You start seeing that more and more often. And then the only time you saw it again was Survivor Series in 2001. That was November 2001 in Greensboro, North Carolina. So that's basically when it happened. Hold on.
Okay, he's having a little difficult with his kids tonight, it seems like. So, I kind of agree with Anton. Like the WrestleMania was back then, I thought it was broken up very fair, I think, and evenly, but it still didn't have an off season. And I think we would have a lot more wrestlers still stick around, wrestling a lot longer too. We didn't talk about that. Like one of my questions tonight was going to be would wrestling benefit physically from a break? My answer is yes. Somebody who competed in martial arts, when I took my off season, like we didn't compete, but I did train. That benefit my body more than anything. And I know if Paul was up here, he might disagree with me with this one. Even building, bodybuilding, I think they need a break from their constant grinding and grinding and grinding. And that's the thing we definitely need to do. And I also feel like with the off season, it will improve the storyline so much. You good now, man?
Yeah.
Kill
Yeah.
any of those kids?
Carter was calling for me and everything else. He's all settled right now. He's all settled.
Yeah. So did you hear what I said?
Yes, I did.
So what do you think about that? Like, you think the break would physically would help them?
It would.
Working out and everything.
In a way, it would because one, it'll give them time to recoup. And I think what it does is the time away will help build any stories that you have going on. Like if you have these individuals, like you have it going on for a period of time, and then this is layover for weeks and months, it builds the anticipation. Are they going to start up? Is this feud finally done or what? You know, that's the real great part about it, because it sometimes helps build up the interest of what's going to happen next. I think I can see why you want them to have that definitely to have an off season. It gives a strong build up to where, okay, you have two superstars that haven't faced each other in, say, well over 2 or 3 years. Is it finally over, or are they gonna pick up where they left off?
Yeah, I think if you, let's say, whatever WrestleMania, I'm sorry, whatever pay-per-view is the last before the break, it could be a cliffhanger, like end of the season kind of thing.
Right.
Like something dramatically happens. It puts them through a speaker, or jumps off the jumpathon, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you the camera comes up, like, oh my god, you broke him in half, blah 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 blah, blah. And all of a sudden it goes it goes off, like, and that's it. Now you're like, what the fuck, dude?
Okay, now I gotta wait for them to come back. What's gonna happen now?
And that goes to my next question is, obviously is two of my next questions actually is, would that benefit or improve storyline? My answer is going to be yes, personally.
Because now that you're not under a lot of pressure trying to fill in those gaps week after week after week.
Correct. And then it goes to my following question is, will fans miss wrestling? And my answer is also going to be yes to that.
Yeah, but I think what that does it's going to motivate them because now they're like, okay, now we got to come back. We got to wait X amount of time for them to, in other words, for things to pick back up. And I think what it does is it's going to get wrestling fans to chatter on social media. You're probably going to have some pop up here on YouTube, putting their opinion on what may happen when things start back up. I think it's going to definitely draw some interest because you're going to be hearing people talking about it in places and ways no one ever thought you would be talking about it. You're going to hear it a lot about social media. You're probably going to see people here popping videos here or any other platform per se. I think it's just going to be one of those general interests of like, I can't wait till they start up again. And then once they start up, whether it's Raw or SmackDown or maybe a pay-per-view, who knows? It's like, now we waited all this time. Let's see where they're going to go from here.
I don't think starting back out with a pay-per-view is going to be a good idea. A Raw, definitely. A SmackDown, I can see that, but not a
pay-per-view?
No, I don't think it's a good idea.
Okay.
Because you have no storyline built up to it.
That's true. That is true.
Now, the question is also, obviously, we have multiple companies now. All right.
Right.
So, should them all have the same time as the break? What do you think?
Honestly, no. No.
Why you say that?
Because I think what may happen during that off time, and if they ever start, like if you ever have some, like if they ever restart this open door policy amongst the promotions, that's a very good point, Eric. I never even gave it a thought about that. Thank you for thanks for letting us know. I never even thought about it like that. While you may have a significant number of wrestlers taking time off, you still may have one that may want to, you may have a WWE superstar saying, let me pop my head in AEW and see what's going on there. And you may have another one that may pop their head inside of TNA just to see what's going on.
But that kind of kills the purpose of a season off, because if they, like some of them now, a lot of companies work with the other companies.
Right.
That's what they're saying, but I personally think like these companies are owning each other, but that's a different story.
Right. That's a different discussion for another day.
Yeah. Like say WWE is working with TNA now. So if they're not off at the same time, they can still jump in TNA and go in the ring. So it kills the purpose of the off season.
Right, but I think what it does, it may just pop in just to look around, and then are they there to compete, or are they just there just to check out the scenery?
I think personally it should be universal, all of them off at the same time, because they're not able to jump in the ring during their off season. It makes them forced to recover.
I hear you. I hear what you're saying. It does make sense. I just think what it is, if there's a way you can have an angle similar to what happened back in '96 when Scott Hall and Kevin Nash left WWF to go to WCW, I think if there was a way you could try to find a way to fit that angle in, I think that would make things kind of interesting. I don't know if you remember that storyline.
Remind me a little bit.
Okay, back in '96, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash are already done. Like they completed their contracts with WWF.
Okay.
Now they're with WCW. You see them make an appearance on Nitro, and you're like, first you see Scott Hall come in, and you're like, wait, who's this guy? He's still doing
the NWO entry kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that now. I don't remember watching it because I was in Greece still at the time, but I remember watching it older when on YouTube and all that stuff.
I watched it through YouTube and through highlights a little bit later on, because I think right around that time I was still home, but then I didn't ship out to basic training until like sometime May 20th, around that time in '96. So I missed out a lot, and I didn't really catch up until sometime in July after I graduated when I was in signal school. So when I saw like those highlights, it was like, wow, I finally got a chance to watch like 2 months worth of highlights, while watching Nitro and Thunder and everything else on what I missed at that time. So it really brought like that much interest because okay, you see these guys like who are these guys doing? Like who are these guys and why they're here? But the thing is, that was also the first time they got to wrestle under their actual names. They couldn't use Razor Ramon and Big Daddy Cool Diesel because that was WWF property.
Yeah, they own the rights to it.
So that gave them the opportunity to be Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, their actual names. Yeah, I remember videotaping, but I couldn't videotape anything in South Carolina. Sorry, Eric, I missed out on that. But it gave, but
God damn, you guys are old.
Shut up. But that was 90s technology, bro. Come on now, 90s technology.
You know what? I do. Sometimes I do miss having a VCR.
Yeah.
Actually, fuck the VCR. I miss having a Blockbuster.
Yes, touche. Because people didn't realize that if you missed the pay-per-views, you can sometimes rent it from Blockbuster.
You know what? Me was more the gaming, not the movies.
Oh, really?
I like streaming my movies; they're convenient. But yeah, you can stream your games, but you have to pay for it.
True.
And now there's a whole thing about gaming. Downloading. That's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, that's a whole different conversation. But like I was saying,
that's for a hangout show. But I do miss going just having it. Renting it. You know what I'm saying? It was a feeling. Like, and if you knew the trick, did you know the trick?
No, I don't.
You go on Thursday.
Okay.
Like Thursday around between 12 and 3. That's where they put all the new movies and games out.
Ah, okay.
And that's how you catch it. Yeah, and that was the best way. Most people didn't know that. People always went on a Friday.
That's right. That's true. Because there were times I remember movies were coming out and people would wait in line till midnight that Friday to purchase the movie. And there were times you had to put yourself on a wait list too, because if it was a very popular movie that you wanted to get, and you didn't know if they had that many copies, you put your name on a wait list. And when you showed
I don't remember that actually. I don't remember the wait list.
Yeah. I remember that. I definitely do. Those were the days. Those were the days. But honestly, I think there's a way that they could work this out because you got some wrestlers that are, waiting for opportunities to catch their teeth. They're looking for opportunities to move up. If you give the big name superstars, a couple of weeks or a couple of months or a few months off, all those young ones that are looking for an opportunity to get in, allow those mid cards who are looking for that opportunity. Okay, let's see what you can do. Let's put you out there and let's see what you can do. Let's see if you've got what it takes. And that to me is important because you don't want, like, you may have some that gonna be mid-carders always forever. And they eventually become jobbers. But then you're always gonna find that one that earn their stripes as jobbers in mid-cards, and then that one moment they're able to take advantage of it and they end up becoming a superstar. So I think it would work out in that aspect for a lot of the jobbers. I think it would help them to where it's just, you know what? Now I got my opportunity. I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm going to run with it.
So the question I do, when we have to talk to ourselves, also ask ourselves is, how will these big television networks support it? And also streaming services like Netflix? I think if it was like football,
right?
They know they have an off season. There's no question about that,
right?
So they like it or not, that's how it's going to be. But I think that's the benefit about off season because they get a lot of hype. Now we're just started the preseason of football, so the hype is starting to build up. So you could use NXT as a preseason and get people hyped up.
That is true.
If you break everybody at the same time, let's say they pass this federal law, all wrestling companies must take a break from, again, I'm going to use the dates I picked, from October to the beginning of the year.
Oh, wow.
Why? You think that's long? Too long?
Oh, no. Wow, that's a good amount of time off. Actually,
Yeah.
that would help. That's like what 3 months?
Yeah, 3 months. I won't give him more than that. Fuck that. So the first, you have NXT and all this stuff, but maybe you have NXT starts breaking them in a little bit, start warming the gears, the muscles up
Right.
again, and get used to it, and then get into the season. Maybe like a couple weeks, maybe a month or two later. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But mention NXT, I was right about something.
What's that?
My boy's in NXT now.
Ah, you called it. That's right. When I saw that, I was like, damn it, Peter was right. He called it. I got it.
Yeah, give me my flowers, motherfucker.
That's what I'm doing. I'm applauding you right now, bro.
Yeah.
I'm applauding you because when I saw Zilla make that approach, I was like, that bastard Peter called it. I was about to text you. I was like, oh my God.
I was actually very, very happy for him. Because the guy's been through hell and back. Let's be honest. Everybody knows his backstory. He went to prison and all this stuff.
Mhm.
So he did what best he could going to WWE. First he was on the indie scene and he built a good name for himself in the indie scene.
I heard.
He was probably the most hottest person in the scene that we know, at least recently, of course.
From what I heard, I remember there was someone actually did put together a video on YouTube on Zilla. And what helped him was when he, people were surprised, like this guy's only 25, 26 years old. He's only been wrestling for a few years. Unfortunately, the legal issues, him getting in trouble and getting out, going into, let's be honest, the family business.
Mhm.
And from what I heard, a lot of people had a lot of good things to say about it. He was professional. He didn't come in as arrogant. He was definitely confident. But I think what it was also.
Hello.
Say again?
Like he loves saying hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I met him with David almost a year ago, right? At New York Comic Con, right? Very professional, very nice, sweetheart. And he said, it was a funny thing. He said to me and David, he goes like, I met so many people, but you guys' vibes are so cool. It's like a different vibe, you guys. Like I can sit there and talk to you guys all day long.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I took that guy's respect. And it kind of answers, and I'll give everybody a little behind the scenes right now, since last year. So you guys know I'm always working on guests. I'm always hustling. I'm always doing something. All right. A lot of my leads do come from CQ. I'm not gonna deny that. Some of my leads are coming from my ass. Literally, I post some names on my ass. So last year when I met him, I literally asked him, dude, you got to come on my show. We started talking. And I told him, I believe everybody has a story they can tell. And I wanted him to tell his side of the story. He went up, talked to his agent, came back. He goes, I'll do it. Here's my agent's email. Contact my agent, and we're going to set something up. We've been going back and forth for a little bit. But the response I always get, this is not a good time. This is not a good time. Or he will never get back to me. Now it makes sense why it wasn't a good time. Because from my understanding, a WWE contract, it could take up over a whole year to make sure you clear out. Think of what I'm saying, Anton.
A year?
Almost a year. Think about it. When he's about to, he said to me, to David, and David said, when you go into WWE, he goes, Triple H has my number. He can call me anytime. Clue number one. Right?
Which means he was talking to them as soon as he got out.
What's up?
It sounds like he was probably already talking to them by the time he got out. And from what I heard, as soon as he got out, he linked up with Booker T and trained at his school.
Correct. So I don't think he licked them. Then they let him get marinated a little bit, get some skill, and they were started watch when he started popping on YouTube videos. Now the interest caught them. So I think last year the table was open and they were negotiating at the time. This is why I say it might take a whole year sometimes to build a contract. How many times do we hear Russia's about, his contract's about to be released?
Yeah.
And that's where he started, talking. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you. I'm listening. I hear you.
That's where I think it probably happened personally.
I won't be surprised I wouldn't be surprised, but between his time, going to wrestling school, being trained by Booker T, and I won't be surprised they will go to Booker and like, yo, what do you think? I like him. He got charisma. He has presence. He comes in. He's ready to work. He's not. He knows his family legacy. He's not trying to ride on their legacy alone. He's trying to build his own.
Yeah, so I'm not saying he's using Umanga's his father's legacy, but it did help him a little bit.
It does, not just his father's legacy, but let's be honest, his family line does carry a lot of weight, and I think he understands that, and he's not taking it for granted.
And the fun fact about Umanga, when he used to spear and he used to scream, he used to his Zefatu's real name is Isaiah. So when he's a spear, he just scream Isaiah. It was his way of saying he's proud of his own son, right? But nobody realized what he was screaming because it was so loud and obnoxious.
That is true. It was definitely a challenge. It definitely was a challenge to like understand what he was saying because he was so in character.
Can you raise your mic a little bit? You were going low for me.
Oh. How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, a lot better. Thank you.
All right, no problem. I was just making some adjustments, that's all. But he was so in character, you didn't understand what he was saying until you really like heard him clearly. And then it was like, oh, okay. But the one thing you knew, Zilla got a tattoo of his father on his chest as a trick to him. And I think that's really cool. That's really cool to do that.
So
and I
in
think
Comic-Con last year, he was doing not a meet and greet, but all the guys who was dressed up as wrestlers.
right.
He was messing around with them a little bit, and it got caught on camera. And one thing he was smart about to promote himself, he started his own YouTube channel.
Very smart.
Yeah, so he knew how to promote. He learned very young age how to promote himself.
Right.
So I really think, and like I said originally, I'll go back to this. Last year when I met him in October at New York Comic-Con, right?
Right.
He was already working on these. Because it could be, again, think about what I'm saying to you. How many times you hear a wrestler is about to get released from a different corporation, all right?
Right.
Or different promotion, whatever you want to call it. Like I said, TNA. Chris Jericho is a great example. Like when his contract almost expired, a lot of rumors were coming up about a year before his end date, and saying he might be going back to WWE, finish his career.
I heard about that.
Or WWE saying, "Oh, this guy's contract's coming to expire. We are negotiating right now." Like R-Truth, it was one good example. A whole year we were hearing about that, and they could not come to terms. They let him go, and then they got backlash, and they said, "We need this motherfucker back." I think the contracts are more complicated than we know about.
Yeah, I can imagine how difficult it has to be for it to take that long. Like you would think, okay, you're talking, and then maybe a couple of days or a couple of weeks later, they're done, and then all of a sudden you see them appearing at an event. I did not think it would take as long as a year to get that done. I really did.
I think it is a year. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a contract writer. But from my understanding, from what we're seeing through WWE and other promotions, they usually start ruminating and dropping hints a year prior. Think what I'm saying to you, Anton. How many times do you hear this?
Yeah, that is. I never thought. Usually when you hear about a year prior, you're thinking, okay, maybe something they're talking about, or it's early and we'll see what happens down the road. Maybe they're just kicking the tires just to look into it, just to test it out. You never would think that they're negotiating for all this time. You never think that it would take at least a year to finally, to get things started, to see where things will go from there.
Because not only you're negotiating contract, you're negotiating money too. How much money are you going to bring in? You're going to make. What's your guaranteed earnings? How many appearances you're going to make? What is your character going to be? You know what I'm saying? Is that what too? I think they did really smart with him. They didn't put him on the main roster right away, like it did with some other wrestlers.
That is true. And I think that's what happened to them. They got shell shocked.
Mhm. So I really think a couple of these were like um other wrestlers. They did the same thing with Solo. Solo started in NXT. Roman Reigns started in NXT, and they gave him time to marinate. I'm using that word very fine, like that marinate. And like I felt wrestler is like a food. You marinate it. You cannot throw him in the deep end.
No, you can't. You gotta
When you
get.
throw him in the deep end, that's it.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's right.
Eric is saying, you want to read it? I'll give you this one. You're supposed to read out loud, dumbass.
No, I'm here. I'm listening.
Oh, you want to read it? Okay, I thought you want to read this one. All right. So also was also at New York City last year. I looked and walked him, and I saw him, and I wouldn't have put him. Oh, okay. I see.
You talking about Orange Cassidy? He was at North
Yes.
Carolina last year, and I took a walk with him. Wow, really?
Yeah. Dude, last year, the funny part is me and David are walking through Comic-Con, right?
Uh-huh.
And David goes, "Yo, that's what's his fucking name? The guy with a cigar. He had the pimps
Oh, Godfather.
Godfather." And I thought I didn't. I was behind him, so I didn't recognize him right away when I was behind him, right?
Right.
And I said, I was joking around with him, "Yo, where's your cigar?" He puts it in the air. He goes, "It's not a cigar now only. It's something else." Hint, hint. I'm like, "Oh, he's smoking the green shit now." When he turned to the, I believe he turned to the left and he walked in his booth. Oh, I stopped mid track. Holy shit, that is the Godfather. I did not recognize it at first.
Oh,
He was walking in the middle of the aisle like he was an average Joe. Nobody gave a shit.
Ironically, I remember seeing one clip with him and the Undertaker. Undertaker was talking the story about him and how he looked out for him. And like when you hear these stories from Undertaker, like listen to the Undertaker and his stories are wild. But at the same time, like you don't realize some other wrestlers that he's very close with. And I never knew he was that close with the Godfather. And
Yeah, they was like a trio of them or something like that. Like Ufando was one of them. The Samurai guy was one of the pack. They had a big pack of them. They were usually play cards and drink Jack Daniels.
Yeah, I remember they were also called the BSK. They called
That's
them.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and I heard some stories about those guys. Like the stories I heard was like that's the crew that no matter what they're always gonna have your back, and that's the crew you know not to mess with because if you mess with one of them, you're gonna deal with a horde of them no matter where you go. Plain and simple. So,
I also heard a rumor. I'm like, if you piss off the Undertaker, the only way getting his good grace, get him Jack Daniels.
Yes, I heard that. I think I better tell you a story about that. Mike Chiodo was talking to Maven about that on his show. And he got into a situation and they were like, I gotta go to wrestling court. And I forgot who it was that told Chiodo this. I forgot who it was. I'm trying to remember. He's like, yo, all you need to do, just get Taker a bottle of Jack and you're good. So Chiodo showed up to court, like, yo, Taker, I know I was wrong. I'm sorry. And this is that. He showed that bottle. He gave him that bottle. He saw that big old bottle of Jack. He was like, yeah, case dismissed. And he was like, yes. I was like, no way. He was like, he loves Jack Daniels. That's his go-to drink.
You know, it's funny we're talking about this. You know why? Because it goes where we're talking about off season.
Yes.
A lot of these off season guys, you know, if they have off season, they can go to conventions. Now they can't even do conventions because it's so. Like the high end guys, like Triple H, not Triple H, I'm sorry, Undertaker. I can't even talk Undertaker. He's not wrestling anymore.
Yeah.
Trying to remember. One his name's not coming to my head right now. Any of them.
Reigns.
Randy Orton. There you go. Randy Orton, for example. He could go to New York Comic Con and sign some autographs and make a lot of fans happy.
Right.
And they make money off that too. Right. And that's the question. Do you think having an off season, these guys can make a little extra money on the side?
Oh, it will work. It will help it definitely would help their brand if they have a brand. It definitely would help them in other ways too, because you might see a side of them that you're not used to seeing. And I think, like I said, it will help them with recovery. It would also help them with anything that might be going on with their family too, so on and so forth. I think it definitely would help them a lot. And I think it's something they should really look into. But I think what it will also do, it will definitely draw interest. People will be foaming at the mouth, waiting for when they're gonna start up again. So now it's like, when do you do this? When do you give them that off season?
The
Because
only ones I might see struggling a lot with off season, if it was like a universal thing, are small promotions.
yeah, a lot of the indies would struggle because unfortunately, for some of them, they don't have that large financial backing like WWE
Yeah,
or
and like to Eric's point right here,
Shane.
best known as Hurricane. I actually met him last year at Comic Con. Nice guy. He's more like I'm here for the autographs, and that's it. Nothing cool. He didn't bullshit with you, nothing like that. Like Nicholas Cross, for example, and his wife, they bullshit with me a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were really sweet. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Definitely. What's his name? Here, let me bring up those. I actually bring those pictures up.
Okay.
It makes it easier if we're having pictures to understand what we're talking about here.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But some wrestlers will have a conversation with you. I remember meeting Christian years ago, right?
Mhm.
I gotta say to him, hey, he was. Here we go. All right, let me share my screen. All right. Okay.
Oh my god. Yup.
Yeah. So very nice, sweet guy. Zé Fatil, this is where we were bullshitting. We were talking.
I think that was House
Hurricane.
of Glory he was part of. That
I'm sorry?
promotes there. The title right there. I think that was House of Glory.
It's OG. I believe so. Yeah, that is how it was going. Hurricane
Uh,
again. He was just like in and out. Didn't really. It wasn't like a full conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Sergeant Slaughter.
As
Okay.
far this is my second time meeting him. I actually went up to him mostly for David more than anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I actually asked also the agent a little bit. I asked him if I thought it was a few extra dollars for this, but he didn't say no. He put them in the clutch. And you see, David, I told him tweak him out, like put some paint on this shit. I'm like, I'm paying for this motherfucker. And you see,
Don
Don
House.
Harrison, when I met him, it was like sweet and to the point. You know what I'm saying? I can't argue anything about it. Great experience with this guy.
Okay.
So that I got more here coming up. This guy
Cassidy.
again. We had a good conversation. It wasn't a long conversation.
Right.
Now the one that really bothered me, obviously again, good conversation, not long. He goes to me, which autograph, which picture? I'm like, I want pick one. I'm like, it's your picture, it's your autograph, dude. No, you're the talent. I want you to pick it for me. So he ended up picking that one, obviously. And I have some more here. Obviously, Nicholas Cross and his wife, sweet people. Can't deny that. And I was joking around with him. I looked up, I looked down, I look up, I look down. Like you look bigger on TV. His wife goes, don't get him started, please. Don't get him fucking started. Okay.
Danhausen. Okay.
Because I have this is one that I got a little disappointed with a little bit, right?
Okay.
I'll explain to you why. So, all right, hey, I'm gonna pop quiz right now, right?
Okay.
Who are these guys?
Ooh.
One with the hat, he just got back to WWE. Whoop whoop. That's your clue.
Oh God, that's Damn, I'm throwing a brain fart. Oh God.
Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder. Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
He-
Zack Ryder. Okay, so
And I remember
obviously
meeting him. And I
his
remember
gimmick was Zack Ryder in WWE.
right.
Later on, he one of his I can't remember his real name right now off my head. Um, so I started talking to him. All right, and this is where things get sour. All right,
Right.
so I asked him for an autograph. They go sure, but we don't have pictures. We only do our little toys and stuff like that.
Okay.
So it was 50, 60 bucks. Then was another 80 for the action figure or whatever I got.
Wow.
I will get off screen in a second, bring it on camera.
Okay.
I'm going like, come on, dude. Like, I'm paying 60 bucks. You can only provide a 5x5. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So as we're they're signing in, like, again, I'm pitching the show. Hey, if you guys mind, I have a podcast called Spartan HQ Network. Blah 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 blah. I'm doing my little self pitch, right?
Everything else, like, okay.
Zach goes to me straight up. I'll be honest with you, kid. I'm like, I don't have time for this shit. The other guy, like, I won't fucking do it anyway.
Wow.
The way they said it, it was so disappointing and so disrespectful. I felt. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And it was like, come on, dude. Okay, that's all of them. So I'm gonna let you take over for a few minutes. I want to grab something really fast.
Wow. That's wild. I mean, the fact that he would say something like that, it's kind of like a disappointment because you have fans who are looking forward to seeing these guys at Comic-Con or any other convention. Now, I remember me and Zack Ryder some time back. He was traveling with Cody Rhodes. And this is when Cody Rhodes was in his first stint with WWE. And he was doing the Stardust persona. I met them at a diner. They both flew in from Edinburgh. I could tell
Right.
they were tired. And
So I want to show you guys something, right?
okay.
So when I met Zack Ryder, now as Matt Carmondo, whatever his fucking last name is, you can go
Carmondo?
in my opinion. So the autograph was 50 bucks, right?
Right.
This box was another 80 he charged me.
Wow.
Now that's only one person.
Okay.
And the other guy was Brennan Minter, whatever his fucking last name is.
Right.
80 bucks for the box. For the little bobblehead action figure, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Plus 50 for his autograph. How much is all together, Anton? Let's see how your math is right now.
Oh my God.
50 plus 80 is what?
130.
I pay 130 a piece. And I usually don't have a problem paying that.
That's 260.
Exactly. And they said to me, oh, because you go out, we're throwing the picture in for free. Well, usually, most people, these guys, all right, in my experience, you're going on this year. All right.
Right.
And actually, I want to bring this up actually because I want to see something really fast before I open my mouth.
Okay.
So as I'm doing that, it's usually it's about 60 to 80 bucks autograph with a picture, and they provide the picture at 5x5.
Okay.
That was outrageous in my opinion.
Mm.
That is my personal opinion, of course. Think what I'm saying to you.
Yeah.
So you can make it money.
Yeah.
You don't have to rape the fans. I'm sorry.
Right.
So you guys know we are New York Comic-Con fanatics at this point, right, Anton?
Right.
So Spartan HQ Network will be at New York Comic-Con in 45 days, counting today. Myself, my man, Baby Oil, Anton, Mr. President, the Paul is going to be there. Our friend Erica is going to be there. I'm actually going to have my lady there too, and my daughter.
Nice.
That's going to be an interesting one, actually.
Mm.
So I'm popping their cherries. I'm popping your cherry too, actually.
Hey, I've been talking about wanting to go to this for the longest. I have friends who've gone to New York Comic Con numerous times. I have friends who fly out to San Diego. Like one of my friends, right? He posted pictures of him at San Diego for Comic Con, decked out as a Ghostbuster, looking like posing as Winston Zedmore. So
I met Winston. You saw that picture.
yeah,
That's another one that kind of pissed me off. So me and they were talking. We just recently did the Ghostbusters show, if you remember, a year ago. So we were talking to him like, "Yo, we did a show on Ghostbusters, yada. Our channel, I actually did more of the pitch than David did. You
right.
know, channel Spartan. You know, feel free to go check it out. I wasn't even thinking about bringing him on the show. He's way too big for us right now. I'm thinking
Right.
his agent is going to tell me to go fuck myself, most likely.
Ugh.
I was kind of right. Turns around, he goes, "Let me know when you do the next Ghostbusters show. I like to be on it." I looked at David, I looked back. I looked at David, look back. I'm going like,
Hmm.
"How do I get in contact with you?" He goes, "Let me give you my agent's phone number, personal phone number." He goes.
Oh wow.
He goes to somebody behind him. He goes, "Give me a paper and pen right now." He goes. Just like that. He writes it down. He hands me the paper. He goes, "Here you go, young man." I go,
Thank you.
"Oh." I felt like Zelda. No. So Mike, CQ, warns me. He goes, "Be careful with that shit, bro. A lot of times they will tell you, go fuck yourself." Like, come on, dude. He gave me his personal agent's phone number. You have a golden ticket at this point. He goes, "All right, I don't want to be the one that told you so." And he goes to me, I'm like, "Whatever, dude." I get a hold of them. I get on the phone with her. All right. I went, "Hey, my name is Peter. I'm also known as a Spartan. I run a show called Spartan. I run a channel called Spartan SU Network." Um, and I explained to her the whole story really fast. She goes,
Right.
"Any request I don't do over the phone, you have to email. I'm at an event." I didn't have any paper. She's like, she just wanted to get me off the fucking phone fast as possible. I got there. I finally raced up here in my office, grabbed a piece of paper, and I got it. I emailed her, "Hey, we just spoke on the phone. My name is Peter. Also, I run the Spartan. As you know, I'm also known. I'm the host of the Spartan. Blah blah. I have a whole list. I have
Right.
something pre-written over there."
Right.
She replies to me, "Could you please send me some of your content? I'd like to see an idea." I go, "I'd love to. Here's the show on the Ghostbusters, actually, that you might enjoy." I'm still waiting to hear back from her.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, Eric's saying, "I think it sucks, quite honestly, the way they handle autographs these days." And it does.
Right.
Some of them I do understand the name tag because that's what they make the living off. Some of these guys, and I'm not pushing back on that at all.
No.
But 60 plus 80, you can go fuck yourselves. And you got a problem with me with that? You know where my channel is. Come on and let's talk about it. But you don't have the balls to come and talk about it.
You know what it is
I
also.
behind a camera.
But you know what it is also with some of these wrestlers too. People don't realize if they own the copyright for the name of their character,
Mhm.
they probably copyright and trademark the name, and that's how they make their money as well.
And I'm okay with that, but if you're paying $60, usually I average 60 to 80, even let's say it was 80 on the high end with a double picture and autograph, right? Selfie with a cell phone, all right?
Right.
$80 is a fair price, I believe.
Okay.
But they charge me 60 plus another 80.
Mm.
All right. Eric's asking, is David going to be this year? No, he won't be because he's dealing with some personal issues right now. That's why David is on leave of absence of the channel at this moment. So back to what we're saying.
Right.
With the autographs, I have met a lot of wrestlers over the years. $1 Million Man, Lex Luthor, Christian, Lita, Stratus. You can see all the autographs in my background. All right.
Right. Let's see.
$60 are usually the average take. And I'm okay with it. But the 60 or $80 is not what bothers me. If they couldn't give me a 5x5 with that, I had to buy this separately. The only time I bought something a little extra was I met Usu's father. What's his name? Help me out here, Anton.
Man, whose father?
The Usu's brother's father,
Rikishi.
Rikishi. Yeah,
Rikishi.
I met him twice actually. All right. The first time I met him, his agent is promoting these shirts. You have him in the middle, the twins, and Roman Reigns, and all this stuff, right?
Right.
And he goes, "Listen, if you want it, like, I will, I could cut you a little bit of deal because I seen you get a picture and autograph. I only have a few left. I want to just get rid of them. I don't want to bring them back to me." I'm
Right.
like, okay, like I usually sell this shirt for 80, but I'll give you the autographs and the picture and the shirt for 80. I'm cutting you a deal. I want like that's a fucking steal, bro.
I'll take it.
Yeah, and this is not a shirt you're gonna find. It's exclusive for Comic Con. It says New York Comic Con by his company and all this stuff on behind it. All right,
Okay.
cool. Took a picture. I think it was his first con, so he was a little taken away a little bit.
Right.
Some wrestlers and some actors will be like, "This is a lot, actually."
A lot more than they expect. Yeah.
Yeah. Last year, I was wearing the same shirt. I said, "Fuck it, let me wear it." Kind of happy I did, actually. So, no, the year before that, 2 years ago, it was with Paul, Paul's first one. His agent realized, like, he looks at me like, "You bought that shirt from me, didn't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I did, actually." He goes, "Do me a favor, bro." He goes, just like that. Go up to him and show him the shirt. That's all I want you to do. I went, bet, I don't have a problem with that. And I went up to him and I showed him like, "Yo, representing my dog." I'm thinking in the back, Paul's probably shaking his head. Oh, fucking Paul's in a corner over there talking to somebody else.
Right.
Now, right. And I had a few minutes to talk to him. And he was more talkative this time. I go like, fuck it, let me talk to him. I didn't pitch the show. It was more a personal talk now.
Right.
I went to him, "Listen, I'll be honest with you, bro. I'm like, my mother's suffering from cancer and all this stuff, like your nephew does." Who's his nephew?
Roman Reigns.
Bingo. So my mom is a fanatic of Roman Reigns. Like my mom jokes around, like, if I ever meet him, I'm gonna kiss him. Like, when you gonna kiss him? Like, I'm grabbing his fucking face. I'm gonna pull a big one. Oh crap! My mom is gonna go to jail for fucking sexual harassment here or some shit. Like that.
Wow.
So, and he was laughing about it. Those are the kindness you want, guys. Whoever's watching this, if you go to New York Comic Con, please be on guard. Now, Anton, you're gonna probably ask me, why do I mean by that, right?
Yes, please.
I have met multiple actors over the years. I've been doing this for a couple of years now. The 1 year I went, it was in New York Comic Con, and before that, it was a Star Trek convention. I said I wanted to go to it. It wasn't nowhere near big Comic Con. It wasn't nothing I expected. It was a little let down, to be honest with you guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because usually what I pay is $60, you get a picture and an autograph.
Right.
You only got an autograph for $60.
Oh,
So
wow.
the first person I met was from Next Generation. Who was number one in Next Generation?
Jonathan Frakes.
I'm sorry?
It was Jonathan Frakes who played Will Riker.
Bingo. He was a douchebag.
Oh, wow.
Again,
I heard he's pretty tall, too.
you guys, if he's watching this, only these guys, I'm calling you guys out. You guys have the channel. The email is in the bottom. Email me. I'll set you up. Come up and call me the fuck out. If you don't, shut the fuck up and sit where you are. I'll put you in your goddamn fucking place.
I
Simple
heard
as that.
he's pretty tall, too.
What's up?
I heard Jonathan Frakes is pretty tall as well.
He was sitting down, so I couldn't tell.
Okay.
So he didn't get up at all. And as we're talking to him, I was like trying to joke and break the ice, kind of joking around a little bit with him, right? He says, "I'm from Texas." "Oh, you carry." Nothing more. I'm like, "What kind of firearm you have, dude?" Joking around.
Right.
He ignored me. So I continues going and signed it and kind of like tossed one of these things to me, my autograph. I'm like, "You can give me I always want to say, give me my fucking money back. You're a piece of shit. Fuck off."
Right.
So really fast, Eric said, back in the 90s, talking a long time ago, an autograph costs you nothing. And a 8x10 color photo only costs you $10.
That's true.
And we're talking about the night now, today's days. Some of these guys make their money. Like, let me see if I can bring some more pictures up here. because I have met a good amount of people.
I remember seeing on my Google feed yesterday. Kevin Nash was doing an autograph signing in Detroit, and he was signing he was taking pictures and signing autographs too. And he actually did break out the spray paint and did the NWO logo on the belt too.
Yeah. So believe it or not, some of these Power Ranger actors are the best to meet.
Yeah,
She
okay.
was like, she walked away for a few minutes, and her agent she just walked away for a few minutes. She'll be right back, hang out. She comes right behind me, like, who is this guy? And I was just like that, like, oh, I mean, that's a shirt, by the way, I was talking about. I'm wearing.
Okay, cool.
You see what I'm talking about now?
Yes.
I go to her. Oh, I am Peter. I'm standing in line to get an autograph from you. And she goes, I would love to. I'm sorry. I walked away to say hi to my Power Ranger family. I go, don't need to apologize. I get it. You need to walk away. This is a lot. You here all day, sweetheart. Trying to get through this. She was really nice too.
Okay.
So somebody was doing an interview. I sat there quietly, waited. I got called up. I asked for. You always talk to the agents first, who handles the money.
Gotcha.
Sometimes they will handle the money themselves, but most likely the agents. All right. She goes to me, I always, if you see most of my pictures, my hands are where, Anton?
Yeah, I see.
Where are they?
Side or in the front?
Well, in the front. 90% of the time, they're in the front. This is a rare occasion. I put my hands up front, like similar like I'm doing right now. She goes, that's not how you take a goddamn picture. She goes to me, put your arm around me and take a picture.
Okay.
And I went, all right. I'm like, come here, lady. Like, I hope my girlfriend's not listening to this shit.
You gonna get
She's not the jealous type. I'm the jealous one in the relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are.
So that's the thing. So they're pretty cool. Wally, what's up, my man?
Wally, suck up there.
What's going on?
Yeah. So let's get back on topic really fast, all right? Because I think we drifted off way too far already. Yeah. I want to back on here. All right, Wally, your personal opinion. I know you said no last time. I want to hear it again if you still agree. Do you think we should have an off season in wrestling?
No.
Why do you think that?
Stop.
The amount of wrestlers in wrestling, why would there need to be an off season?
Like we said before, I know how much you listen to. Give the guys time to recover, be with their families. A little break, it does go a long way mentally too.
Right. So let me understand this. So I'm gonna be a wrestler. The best thing I'm gonna ever do is gonna be someone's freaking living body to put pain, pressure on every damn day to uplift their careers, never uplift mine, or at least never do anything decent, and to just spoil myself with possibilities of I might be in the back, just sitting there, just waiting for an opportunity, because reality is I'm just going to collect the check while I sit there. Or I'm out there and I'm never going to get nothing more good than just as far as just be a story guy of just being used as, hey, I'm good enough to be part of the story, but I'm not good enough to ever be anything major. I do believe, like, regardless, I think wrestling, honestly, no matter what, is literally the only quote unquote sports entertainment that you can actually be someone. It doesn't even matter if you're even just average. It's still like you can be somebody in the business and be fairly good at it. It don't even matter if you're like top tier world champion or not. There's never, like, again, because even if you were to sit here and say, okay, just rationalize the idea of saying, okay, well, let's be real. If you rationalize the top stars getting out the way and letting them have their breaks and moments, because, again, they can't be the top star forever. Someone else got to be up there. You're top star for a reason as far as starting and the top star for a reason of building somebody else. So eventually, someone has to take the throne from you. And once they're out on the sidelines, worrying about themselves, family, and everything else, someone else got to be at the top. So again, in the world of wrestling, technically should not be ever a off season of wrestling period, because there's always going to be somebody there to claim something.
But during the off season, you're not gonna have that because you're off for a reason to recover. It's gonna help promote new storylines too.
That's the whole point that what I just mentioned.
So you think a whole season year round is gonna benefit them like it does now?
All right, let's play it out scenario. Let's say we already in the next year, and Roman Reigns already fulfilled his services, and we now got Obafemi as world champion, and Roman's out the way. Now what? The world still keeps on going.
But the cliffhanger is like ending the season, and like because the wrestling is mostly driven by storylines. It's like any of any show you watch, like if this happens, boom, it cuts off, and like what the fuck happened, and you just wait to come back. Similar case here.
No, you just finished the story off. That's what I'm saying. So again, what story is done? It's already done. We're moving on to the next. You hit the big climax, and people see what it is. Moving on to the next.
And Don, you got anything on this?
Our question is also, are you going to have everything up and ready to go? Once
Can you raise your mic up again?
Sorry about that. All right. Now the question is, well, say you finish the storyline. Like, for example, we're going to use Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. They finished their story, this 12-year feud they had with each other at SummerSlam. Everything that happened between them since Seth's breaking away from the Shield, turned his back on the Roman and the Dean Ambrose. They're finally done. And you said it yourself. After this, you should see them wrestling against each other ever again for a significant amount of time. You don't think maybe some time off will help them put together, already have an idea of what to put together for a story for both of them after they finally close that chapter between them?
I mean, but that's a different scenario. That's already a done still case. I'm talking about, again, if you're talking about working up, if you're talking about a character, right, working up a long run and then being on the side and being put on the sideline based upon the quote unquote idea, should wrestling be on a break? Because again, to my standpoint, what I'm saying is wrestlers should be on a break, but not wrestling itself. Again, this is my whole point. What I just said. I just said, if we reach the climax, WrestleMania, right?
Right.
And you're telling me, okay, for instance, okay, watch, I'm gonna work it back another direction that we already came through. You worked up WrestleMania. We already reached to the climax. We reached the big moment. We got Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. Everyone's wondering what's gonna happen. They finally do it. They pull the trigger. Cody Rhodes is now world champion. We move off from Roman. Roman finally works off all that work that he put in those 2 to 4 years. He moves on. He gets rest. He worries about family. The game has to move on without him for some time. He's on the off season while still getting paid because he already put in. Now you got someone else leading the frontier. That's my point. So again, should wrestling have an off season? No. Because again, wrestlers should have the off season, but wrestling itself, as the whole sport, needs to find somebody else to give the brass ring to. Keep the ship moving.
I see where you go with that. Allow the wrestlers to take the time off that they need, but the show must go on.
In layman's
I
terms,
do understand where Wadi's coming from, and I'm not disagreeing with that. But I do feel like if you guys they had an off season, they can recover and come back with better storylines.
so again, what are we talking about? Because again, you're talking about better storylines. Better storylines amongst who? Because again, if you're shifting off, if Cody, okay, look, let's work it a bin. If Cody just now gets the title, and we just got done with WrestleMania, he's now the new champion within a new cycle that is about to begin, which means we're starting a whole new reign coming up. What new storyline is there? Because you're working up a new one just by now with him being the world champion. So if you're moving off from that, from Roman working on to Cody, you have to now sell that vision. So again, unless you're sitting here saying, well, there should be a moment within wrestling where they should take a break to work up new storylines. Well, then again, you already know ahead of time that you're going to even sell this anyway. So what's the point? You already know you're going to put this person as champion, so you should be well ahead of that.
I feel like these guys get burned out way too much. That's why we're, the injuries happen and everything. Like, if you have that period of time off, that could help a lot, I think.
Like I
Again,
was saying, and like I was saying,
who's in the driver's seat most of the times?
Who's in the driver's seat usually most times?
Who's in the driver's seat most of the times? Because again, if you're moving every other champion that has the title out of the way, and you're saying this person that had the title at that point in time, the only way you're telling me like wrestling will have an off season most of the times are what? Tag team champions, because they're barely any really heavyweight of tag team champions that much. You're only gonna have like what, under 10 tag teams for most cases. After that drop moves out the way a little bit, you really don't have nothing. So you're really just having everyone facing each other versus their own Raw versus SmackDown thing, because at that point you don't have enough tag teams to really keep on circling that, because you're really just taking guys every some time. But when you're moving across mostly what? United States, IC champion, world champion, heavyweight, WWE champion. Again, there's enough weight for that to be moved. So, I mean, now if you're just gonna look at that one spot, shoot your shot. But at the end of the day, I don't see there's no difference, because again, there's enough piece of bodies here for you to sit there and say the cuff can be switched around, the storyline can keep on going based upon whoever you're selling. Again, you're moving a couple of people around the rotation to sell mostly single titles, right? Because the single titles are going to keep on going. The tag teams will be the only one that has a difference because of the simple fact of, quote unquote, your idea of saying the off season. Because again, you move off one tag team, eventually the tag team starts to look very thin. But singles competitors, you don't get that to be dim.
Yeah, I would agree on the tag team. The tag team is a hot mess right now.
it's looking kind of
Shitty.
I mean, it's not a hot mess. It's just what it is. Because again, how much tag teams honestly have been in history enough on a actual wrestling promotion for you to say, oh, you can move around a bunch of, like, it don't matter if you miss one tag team division, it will still be suffice.
right. That's true. And it seems like the tag team division has been struggling time and time again, either because they're breaking up or they're not being pushed correctly. It just seems like, I don't know. It's a lot. And you see some tag teams that work together, and you got some tag teams, you look at them like, hey, these two work together. Like, I don't know. I can't find the best words. It's almost starting to become a hot mess, or it is a hot mess that's only going to get worse. That's the best way I can describe it. It's already bad. It's only going to get worse. I don't see it getting better anytime soon. if ever at all. I just got a point there again.
Yeah, it's a very good point, actually.
Back, bring that back up. Let me read it off. Bring that back
All
up.
right, good. You can read out loud, actually.
We read it. All right, and that's another thing. Can the goddamn storylines? You don't see that nonsense in NJPW in Japan, right? You don't see that type of nonsense. And honestly, Eric, I'm glad you brought this up, and I'm surprised WWE never thought about taking an approach similar to New Japan.
And that approach would be?
You don't drag it out for so long. Like, you have a story, but you don't drag it out for so long. It's like you put it out there, it's simple, it's brief, and then that's it. You don't go back to it over and over and over. That's the best way. That's one way to describe it. I mean, Eric, if you have any other suggestions that you think that could work,
I mean, people can say that, but honestly, it's not even a thing. It's like people want to be like, "Oh, you can't stretch it too long." I'm like, that's different though, because I think what New Japan. I don't know how deep New Japan roster is, but last time I remember, New Japan roster is literally that deep to the point. 9 times out of 10, you ain't gonna have it repeat too long. But let's be honest, you want to talk about repeated storylines? I mean, let's be honest. The Bullet Club is technically a repeated storyline. The only thing is you just slightly have new faces, if you think about it. So, yeah. But as a pick and choose, depending on how you see it. But same thing, sort of. And so my thing is, but even to a company like WWE that minimizes within Raw, SmackDown, or neither altogether, it's always going to be around the same round people. So, I mean, let's be honest. You can go back and go look around in past years, even the past years. You can say the same thing with the most groups that were running the thing. The bloodline dysfunction is a never-ending dysfunctional rerun. What do you expect? It's a dysfunctional rerun that is keep funding the business. I mean, to be honest, a lot of people were. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to cut you off, Wally. As you're saying that, you do have a good point like that.
Well, yeah. So, because to a lot of big points, I know a lot of people were slinging out the idea of the bloodline dysfunction or the bloodline fatigue in wrestling or WWE for that. Because I seen a video where someone was talking about the bloodline fatigue, and people were like, "Oh, they're tired of it," or someone's thinking like people are tired of this and everything like that. And to be honest, the bloodline fatigue is a fucking dead lie. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying like the bloodline fatigue cannot be real for certain people, but in the overall majority, no, it's not. People are not down with that. It's like people are still riding on the high. Don't really matter. Perfect example. So someone pointed this out, right? If you think that there's a bloodline fatigue when it comes to WWE, well, sadly to say, when Zilla Fatu finally made it to NXT, the ratings were way more higher than AEW's ratings when he debuted. So that tells you right there, no, it's not. It's still running high. You may not like how it's being done, or you just may not, you're sick and tired of the fact that they're running with this as the main story. And then that goes to tell you, hey, blame the people that are actually writing the stories because they suck. But at the end of the damn day,
I would agree.
To sit here and say that, oh, you got to cut the bloodline story. I mean, hey, that's what happens when that's your moneymaker. Okay, like literally, if that was the case, just look at anything in media. If you told me today, like for instance, I know Paul's like, oh, a TV series season should end around 8 seasons or something like that. I don't know what the number he exactly said. I'm just paraphrasing.
That was me. I said that actually. 8 seasons.
Well, either which way, I know he said the same. I know he said the same thing about killing a TV series season, right? Like it shouldn't last nowhere past. Like you shouldn't even come close to 10, I guess, or something like that. But again, if it's the network's moneymaker and people are still engaging, what do you expect from people? People are going to want more. Most people don't want certain TV series to fucking end.
Walking Dead, for example.
Pretty much.
I never really watched Walking Dead. To be
Like
honest.
Power season 1. No, we didn't want that then. The way it did. Spartacus. I'm pretty sure most people didn't want that to end. But eventually you have to find your death. I mean, there's certain shows definitely that people wanted to watch that no one didn't want to end. But it did. It's like, okay, that's just business. But you gotta find your moment where you find your big climax and you call it over. But at the end of the day, it's like that's just where it's at. But the whole bloodline dysfunction, don't get me wrong, again, do I like the presentation of what they're selling with the bloodline? No. But does that mean that it's not bringing in money for them when they do it? No. It definitely is. Thing is, it's the best thing they got. Is the only thing they got? No. But let's be honest. You look at everything that the bloodline has conveyed. You can say you don't like the bloodline story, but look at what it's created. They flipped and did a whole 180 on Solo's character, which is way more better than what the frick he's been doing since the past years so far. LA Knight is getting a big upgrade, even though you may not see him with a title, possibly. Right now, just recently, because I just seen a clip of it, they just raised up. I forgot the brother's name. Hold on. But they just raised up him with the OTMs.
Yeah.
So they just raised up right there.
I just saw that.
All because of Bloodline story. Hold on. Wait. Royce Keys. So Royce Keys with OTM, they just got themselves raised up thanks to the Bloodline story. Like it or hate it, don't matter. I mean, look around it. Everyone, one way or another, creates something. The Bloodline creates something out of nothing, amongst other people. It's just the play of the game. Now, granted, why is no one else not being built along the way? Like, again, this is my point. That's what I'm saying. Like, you want to blame the Bloodline as the main thing. The Bloodline ain't the Bloodline is just because you look at who's the created characters. But at the end of the day, it's like, if you're looking like, oh, well, wait a minute. We don't see these people. We don't see that, all this and everything else. Blame TKO for their sorry-ass writing.
Yeah.
And WWE for their sorry-ass business plays. Because at this point in time, a lot of these wrestlers that you're not seeing, it's basically business, money. That's really all it comes down to at this point, because we all know they're talentless when it comes to writing. Because let's be honest, it don't take much for you to go back to the old material, look at the past years of storylines. You already preset it for yourself and work from that storyline. But they always keep doing what? Writing past the storyline they already preset it. So, yeah.
They're all trying to win themselves in their own way. Trying to do too much. It's like, you want to think that they're not trying to do too much. It's either are they doing too much or they're not doing enough.
Pretty much
I
both.
think it's a combination of both.
Yeah. I thought I was the only one. Okay, I thought I was the only one that noticed that too. So, okay, it's not just me. I just think, we'll see how we're gonna have to now see how this story is gonna go, how this angle is gonna go.
With the bloodline, you mean, Anton?
Yeah, well, not just the bloodline, and now with Royce Keys bringing OTM into the picture, because now you got because OTM went after both the Usos as well as LA Knight and Solo. Now my question is, how they're going to spin this new story? Is LA Knight going to be the odd one out, or is it going to be Solo?
What are you talking about? They already sold it. You wasn't paying attention.
Like I saw the match, I didn't see the whole thing from the beginning.
No, I know you saw the match, but my point is, what you're asking is, how are they going to? How does this make? You're basically asking, how does the storyline with Royce Keys and OTM make sense within the Bloodline, and then LA Knight and Solo Sokoa? My thing is, they already proved it to you. You wasn't paying attention. What's the reason why? What's the reason why Royce Keys was there, and then he brought OTM with him? It's real obvious. Royce Keys was with Solo and LA Knight against what? This Bloodline, aka Jacob and aka the Usos.
And Jacob, yeah.
When Royce Keys went to go talk to Jacob to convince him again to walk away from Roman and the Bloodline, Jacob said, "Me and you are gonna fight, have a match. I'm gonna dog walk you, and it's gonna be a street fight." Now remember, this was a street fight. That means that there was no rules.
Right.
If someone wanted to come and help you, they could have.
Right.
No Solo, no LA Knight came to help. But at the end of the day, it was one-on-one. And no one from the Bloodline came to help Jacob neither. So now, to the sensory of this whole story, Royce Keys is like, so wait a minute, y'all two can help each other, but when I needed help, y'all couldn't help me. That's the sensible idea of this whole thing. But let's be honest. You were doing a one-on-one. You the one that's constantly convincing Jacob. Jacob is stuck and chose to be stuck. The only thing is, now I say here and say this: does the story make sense as far as his attempt? Yes. But for the overall, is it solid foundation? Not complete. But does the attempt make sense? Yes. Now, the only difference is the fact that they sort of jumped OTM, knowing that they wasn't giving them no piece of the pie after tag team titles in NXT is a little bit more of a far stretch for me, but because literally one half of the tag team was part of the Lucha group in AAA, only to being kicked out. Now back with his partner. Now you're jumping on the main roster. That's a little bit much more for me. That's what I'm saying. It's a whole bunch of BS on that part, but it is what it is. It looks like this third group is trying to be like aces and eights. What? Because the bandanas? I mean, really? Is that what we're doing? Because of the bandanas? I'm like, all right, that's cute. You know.
So, guys, we're going to end the show. Let's start getting our final thoughts in. Let me set you guys up. All right, you want to go first?
I definitely like the idea of an off-season for a lot of these wrestlers because they can use. And what I said earlier today was definitely a perfect example. The situation involving unfortunately just been off. If he would have been if he had an opportunity to take a significant amount of time off, could have got his personal health in order, and whatever ongoing issues that are going on personally, back to the ring. I just think sometimes you forget that they're human beings, and they do need some time. And now when you look at what both TNA and AEW are doing, they do a lot of their shows on site at the same location, and they're only going to go a lot less than WWE. And I think that's one of the reasons why a good number of wrestlers chose to wrestle with either TNA or AEW. Because they felt like the workload wasn't as demanding as WWE. And one example I remember seeing was when I was watching the documentary of Hogan before he passed away. How he got back into the business after his divorce and everything, doing TNA. The fact that they were working out of Orlando. It wasn't that far. He practically was taping the shows and then coming home at the same time. So it wasn't a a significant demand on him traveling. I think that's something that is willing to look into. I think it's something that would help. While, yes, you do hear the stories from a lot of the wrestlers from 20, 30 years ago, back in their day, they were on the road for 300 plus days out of the year. But you do hear the stories on how it took a toll on their personal life. And maybe if they did have an off season or maybe decrease their workload, it would definitely help with the wrestlers in their recovery from their injuries. And I think it would also give a lot of writers a significant amount of time to come up with new storylines. It's something to look into, and if it's done correctly, it's something that could work, and hopefully it's something that they look into. And that's all I got to say. And those are some words we're thinking. Wow, you're up.
I forgot I muted my mic. Okay, whatever. But yeah. So this is my thing, right? At this point, so the idea is, should wrestling have an off season? No, I still stand on this. Again, you can look at any other sport and say, well, Wally, what about every other sport? Every other sport has a certain moment where this and that happens, and everyone has a prolonged moment in the game, and then it's out the door. And guess what? You think, okay, watch this. So think of it like this: boxing, MMA. You have a bunch of single people, right, with their coaches and everything else, constantly training day per day, pushing you throughout the year to get a fight and possibly closer every day to a title shot when you get your shot, right? Again, these are single competitors. If they can show you and tell you that boxing, MMA, any other single competitive sport, right? If they can show you that that is year long and someone else is going to be in the spotlight of that timing, same thing with wrestling. The only detriment of that is the tag team division, because if you do not have a big roster of tag team players, then yeah, that's the only thing that takes a real deficit. But other than that, single title contention, there's no real deficit. That's the honest truth about that. There is no deficit. And let's be honest, there's most people right now that are tag team wrestlers that can actually spin out to be single competitors. We've seen this across the times. Most people want to see certain people that are in tag teams right now as single competitors. It's a thing. But now again, well, Wally, what about the idea of, they just need some time on the side? Again, I say this very comfortably. If the main ordeal is premised on storytelling, you already know who you're trying to place in the rear view mirror in a certain amount of time. You already know the schedule of your story, when it's going to start, when it's going to end, and how you're going to pivot from there. At this point in time, the reality of why wrestling seems like it needs an off season is because there ain't no one fucking strict enough to fucking handle the fucking workload. Sorry to say this, but there's a lot of bums in WWE right now, and a lot of idiots that don't know nothing on how to handle this business. And feel what you feel about Vince one way or another with his shenanigans along the way throughout the years and everything else of that nature, and some of his shady business practices, but he was very strict about the business. And this is why he was able to create ideas left and right, or at least have people in association to create ideas. And some of them were good, others were bad, somewhere in the middle. But at least the damn business was entertaining enough to keep on going, to where people weren't so depressed about the whole project of what is WWE today. Today, what do we call this freaking era of wrestling? As Vince would coin it, the Depression era. So that's how you're depressed at what you're seeing in wrestling right now. Because you're literally asking yourself, damn, you got all these wrestlers. but yet we have lack of thereof of great moments. How the frick is that going on? Like technically, right now, I think it was the past Friday. Oh, they've been mirroring Shinsuke gonna get attacked. They're gonna get some help, but the help that he's getting is an old friend. But not only that, you're telling me the old friend that he's getting help from is basically him putting in the tag team position because you fucking fired your tag team division, and you're trying to. So wait, you're trying to tell me we're gonna put Shinsuke on the tag team roster versus getting out there and becoming a singles winner? Okay, yeah, that makes perfect fucking sense because you ain't using him for nothing else. Literally. Again, WWE doesn't need an off season. WWE needs to promote people that they need to put in the fucking force in pretty much in the front scenery. And as long as you have certain characters in the way of that, they will never be there. Because let's be real. All these people, one way or another, for most of them, all have a legacy in this game. And most of them that chose to sacrifice their legacies to come to join WWE, their legacy, I mean, from a fan's perspective, more than them, from a fan's perspective, it's being diminished. And to be honest, Ricochet is standing on business, what he was talking about, and he's right. He's fucking right. And a lot of other people that feel the same way about that, they're seeing the same way. But again, some people may sit there and say, hey, I'm getting a check. Screw it. Others may say, you know, when I joined this wrestling business, I never thought I had to be coming to work only to sit on the sidelines and just wait my turn. This is not what I wanted to do. I want to be where the action is. But that's the problem. You never get to the action. Because at the end of the damn day, they chose to purchase you, but they don't know what the fuck to do with you. Make that make sense. I rest my case.
All right, thanks guys for coming up today. Appreciate it. So real quick, a schedule update because my computer is really acting weird right now. I don't want to crash out. So tomorrow we're talking about socializing become too sensitive, freedom of speech, feelings, and feeding the balance. And on Wednesday we're gonna be talking about which superhero could be the Terminator. And we definitely have a gray area Sunday. And next Monday, what we're gonna be talking about is Roman Reigns already on Mount Rushmore of wrestling. So that will be our conversation.
Others, yes. To most, no.
That's really depends on the person too.
It's gonna be a very good discussion.
Yeah.
That's why I said to some yes, to others no.
Yep, I agree with you 100%, Wally. As always, guys, this was the Spartan SG Network. I am the Spartan, my man Anton, my man Wally. As always, stay fresh, stay safe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Have a good one. Be safe, everybody.